Hello YouTube world, this is Logic Crazy and I'm Jonathan, and here's yet another tutorial on creating a chess engine in Java. Alright, so we've just finished creating a pawn promotion capture, as well as capturing with a pawn. We're now going to focus on creating a bunch of other great things for the pawn. Starting off with the most basic chess move, and that would be moving a pawn one up. And what are the conditions for moving on up before we begin? Well, the spot one above needs to be safe, besides king safe, of course. The spot one above needs to be not safe, but open. Alright, so what we will do is we are now not going to be in this big loop, this J loop that checks for the capture to the right and capture to the left thing. We're just going to be straight up, and so we're going to copy this whole try thing up here. Copy that, and paste that right there. Now, let's see. There we go. Whoops. Yeah. Alright, I'm missing a statement at the end like that. Alrighty. There we go. That looks about right. So now we're not going to call it capture. Instead, we're going to just say move one up. And of course there's a move two up at the beginning, and that's why I'm saying not just move up. Alright, so move one up. So we want to say if, let's see, if empty dot, dot equals. Alright, if empty dot equals, and we'll get rid of this whole char thing here. And get rid of this, except, no, this actually can stay. Because when we go one up at the last row, remember, if we were here and we went one up, that would be a promotion. So again, we are only talking about anything below this row, so here and down. Alright, so if I is greater than 16, of course it starts off with 0, and then 8, and then 16. So 16 and greater is there. So that's why I say I is greater or equal to 16. Alrighty. So I'm going to get rid of this whole J thing and just say R minus, let me see here. Yeah, R minus 1 and then C. So we're going to just get rid of this plus J. And this part is all correct. That's space, that's that. Now, this part is slightly different, perhaps. This would be a C, and the rest is good, and then again getting rid of that plus J. Alright, that is basically how you do a move one up. It's very, very simple, as is the move. Whoops. Just trying to copy this and then paste it afterwards. The next thing we will do is a promotion and no capture. So that will be promotion. I'll just put a and no capture. Alright, so that would be this guy here moving one up, but it turns into a promotion. So now I is less than 16 for this endeavor, and the rest is pretty much the same, except we're going to inherit a few items, namely this string and this whole for loop. Actually, I will just copy this entire middle part and replace it with this whole thing. Promotion and no capture. Alright, and do that. Alright, promotion and no capture. Create this, all the possibilities that the promotion could be in, if you remember that. And of course we've got to get rid of the plus j's again. So this would turn into a C. And we still have this P at the end. That means that there's a promotion. That will tell our make move method that a promotion is going to take place. Alright, and I believe that that is it for creating a promotion with no capture. Now what we will do is create the last thing besides en passant, and that is, initially, if things are on this row, they can move up 2 spaces. And what are the conditions for moving up 2 spaces? This spot here has to be blank, and this spot here has to be empty. So not only does the spot above need to be blank, but the one above that also needs to be open. Alright. Now, here is what we will do then. We'll copy this one move up. Since we're not dealing with promotions, this will be perhaps closer. And place it there. So now move, and we'll change this to 2 up. Move 2 up. So we need to say this whole statement here, but then we also need to say R minus 2. If 2 above it is a blank spot as well. And then we need to change this I. Now normally we've been talking about 16 because that's talking about these top 2 rows, but now we're talking at way over here at the bottom rows, and the number is 48 if it's greater or equal to 48. So that would be if you're right here or further. And of course the bottom one's pawns never start out there, but if they did, this program would let them go forward twice. But since that's not a legal starting position or ever a legal board, don't have to worry about that. Alright, so now we will say old piece is R minus 2, because remember, although we're talking about 1 above and 2 above, we're moving to 2 above. So those values will change to 2. Including, don't forget this list when we're adding the next move name to change that up by 2 as well. Now, here's the question. We have finished that. Let's see how many options there are. There should be 20. Just run with me before we have a look. Each pawn can move 1 up or 2 up, and there's 8 pawns. That's 8 going 1 up, and 16 makes it 2 up, and then knights can move 2 options apiece. Total of 4. 16 and 4 is 20. Alright, let's check. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Exactly 20 options. I'm not going through every one of them. Let's go through one random one here. 7, 1, 5, 2. That would be, okay, that's a knight. Let's go with 6, 7, 4, 7. And there's a 6, 7, 5, 7. Notice these two. So we go down to 6, 7, and now there's, and the next 4 are knights. So it took pawns first and then knights, because it scanned and found a bunch of pawns before it found knights. Anyway, so it generates a specific order all the time. So here we go 6, 7, that's this pawn, moves to 5, 7, that's 1 up, and another option where it moves to 4, 7, which is 1 up from there. So those are the two options for that start off with 6, 7. And like I said, the order is always going to be consistent. It'll find the first piece starting at this corner as you read. So in this case, it finds wax of pawns, and then a rook, knight, bishop, queen, king, bishop, knight, rook. It would be the order that finds moves in. This order will be very important later, and we'll actually be modifying the order later on. But anyways, you have now created a list of possible moves, no matter what your scenario is. Besides castling and en passant, things like that. Every move is accounted for. And so this is your first step. The next thing we will be doing is figuring out, well, I haven't even got that far, but we'll need to figure out how to make that move. So once it reads, oh, you can move from so 6-7 to 5-7, actually make a method that moves that pawn there. And then we'll have to obviously make a method that undoes a move, because we'll try it here. Don't like that move. We think there's a better choice on the board, maybe moving this knight here, let's say. And so we'll undo this pawn, move the knight, and so on. So this is the first big step in creating a chess engine, coming up with flawless possible moves. If you ever make a mistake in the possible moves, your whole engine's gonna be riddled with errors. Anyway, until next time, enjoy Java.